Welcome back to WD Magiccast for the week of December 31st, 2023. Whoa, wait a second. It's 2024 already. Happy New Year, everybody. This is episode 247. WD Magiccast, the show about the mouse, the Marvels, the galaxy, and beyond. I'm your host, Matthew Graykin. In this week's episode, David Goldman and Isaac Skoo join me to discuss things that we're looking forward to in 2024. It's a new year with new expectations and new hopes and aspirations. So join us on the social networks on Facebook, Twitter, X, Threads, TikTok, YouTube at WD Magiccast. Join in the conversation. Links to all these are in the show notes, as well as the link to our TeePublic store where you get yourself some really nice merchandise, quality stuff on sale, and support your favorite show. And on that bombshell, on with the show. It's amazing that it's a whole new year and I still don't have my voice back. But these things remain constant. And things that remain constant are two gentlemen who are sharing a screen with me on the computer right now. David Goldman is back to let us some insight into the future. And a gentleman that I do not know if he's wearing pants, Isaac, is here to contradict Dave's insight and tell him what's really going to be happening in the future.
Isaac, can you believe he got us for 2 episodes in a row? How is this possible?
Oh my God! I know, isn't that crazy? He managed
2 weeks
to rank
in a row with these two gentlemen, and I mean, you think
What
they were
are the
recording at the same time?
Wow, man! Happy New Year, 2024, man!
Happy
That's
New Year! I would have had it start off any other way than with you two fine gentlemen.
Wow! And yes, and just like Matt said, yes, I am not wearing any pants as we speak today.
Well, there goes the mystery. That explains why there's just a dot on the screen.
Yes, it's a very nice draft, as you could say.
Okay.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be back to start a new year with my crazy friends Matthew and David. Man, thank you for having me back on here, man. So yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about Disney 24. Okay, 23 out of the bad stuff, new stuff. Let's go on. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's see what do we got? We got some of the stuff coming up. We have Percy Jackson. It actually started last year. And I did watch at least the first episode, and I was actually quite impressed by it. I don't know if either of you saw it yet, or if you were familiar with the Percy Jackson movies.
Familiar with them, haven't seen them.
Yeah, I am familiar with them. Again, I have not seen them. Have seen the trailers to it. It looks pretty good. All I know is Edge from WWE is in it. He plays Ares as the God of War. That's pretty much it. Shout out to my WWE fans out there if they know who that is. But yeah, no. I will actually sit down and take a glimpse into it. Hopefully when I have the time. A little busy here in 2024 though, but I'm definitely gonna take a glimpse at it.
I like I said, it's early, but I find it promising because unlike the movies, and I've said this about the Disney Plus shows, is that you have more time to build the story, and that was something that the author was mentioned because they had him involved. That these are more to the book in keeping to his vision of the story than unfortunately the movies were able to do or willing to do. I'm not going to say which one's which, but let's just say, it's a movie that has to stay within 2 hours. So you could only tell so much story. They now have the luxury of time. They casted children of approximate age to the age that they should be in the story, and it really gives them more of a sense of what's going on. So I applaud them for their attention to detail and wanting to do it right by the story this time. And then so we got that coming. Continuing, coming up in the theaters. Dave, do you want to talk about some monkeys?
Yes, the latest Planet of the Apes movie. Was it Empire of the Apes or
Kingdom?
Kingdom of the Apes. Thank you. Sorry. Highly looking forward to this one because the trilogy before this was fabulous. I mean, I know it's a reboot. Planet of the Apes have been done a million times, but this is just different. It's made different. It's a little darker. The movies are probably like 2.5 hours long, but they don't feel like it. I can't promote this. It's like a sleeper trilogy for me outside of the normal movies, man. Like I cannot promote this, more. So I'm very psyched for this. It's almost like, yeah, we're getting another one. Great. But I hope it's at the same level as the previous three.
From my understanding, that they're trying to do that. And I think on the heels of Prey, that's kind of their thinking with trying to keep things. Not, let the people involved do what's involved. I enjoyed the Planet of the Apes one with Mark Wahlberg. I thought that was nicely done. Mm-hmm. It wasn't as well received.
Yeah.
Then I took a flying chance on Dawn. Right. I was quite impressed with that. Yeah. Very impressed. With the acting skills, the story, everything about it. Jonathan Lithgow's performance in that is outstanding. From someone that you're used to from Third Rock from the Sun and trying to be the zany, crazy guy, to portraying a character that pulls at your heart by the end of it, and you feel so devastated by what his character's going through. And everybody else that's involved in it. I was really surprised with how well that was. I'm like, all right, well, how's the next one going to be? And the next one was still just as good. And even the third one was really good. And my brother was a fan of the original Planet of the Apes. I'm a fan of the reboot. And it's that weird moment where the reboot is probably on par, or you may be able to argue better than the original.
Yeah.
That they actually went in a good direction with everything. So I'm excited. I have positive expectations for Kingdom.
Now, question.
Yes.
With this current trilogy, is technically this trilogy supposed to actually lead into the Planet of the Apes that was made back in the day? It was made back in like 1968, because that's when I saw the trailer. It felt like this new trailer was the beginning to lead into those films. Or am I completely wrong? This is a completely different, like, alternate universe of the of the same story.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it's just a total reboot of their, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it may be kind of getting to that point, but it's still its own entity.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I was watching the trailer because I know of the other two movies. Like the other two movies was like the beginning of the apes kind of rising up to it. So I don't know if Disney now, Fox, now part of Disney, is also kind of pulling a Star Wars, was how they had the episodes that led into the original trilogy. I didn't know if they were doing the same thing with this trilogy of Planet of the Apes leading into that.
I don't believe so. But
Yeah,
I mean, again, I know nothing. No
Yeah.
inside information, no real anything on it. I don't believe. I believe it is its own entity. It's just kind of um, going along with the idea of, okay, we're moving forward in time from where the last three left off. We're now taking a leap forward and showing the evolution of where things were. Because if you remember or you didn't know that the original Charlton Heston Planet of the Apes was actually supposed to take place in a very civilized and advanced future, where the apes have flying vehicles and are a very advanced civilization. Budget wise, and the studios got in the way and muddled that and watered it down to what it became. But it seems like they're trying to take that idea and kind of now revisit that. I mean, the original script was Rod Serling, guy, the Twilight Zone. He was actually one of the guys that came up with Planet of the Apes. So I think they're trying to now take more of the source material, and looks like they're trying to do it right.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know anything. That's my guess. That based on the one trailer that we had.
Yeah.
But I'm excited either way.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of you have a major IP that's been done a million times, but if you do it right with an engaging storyline, it's gonna knock it out of the park. And this is it. Again, I can't speak highly enough about it, so I just hope it continues.
Same here. After that, Inside Out 2. Speaking of which, we're getting a sequel to Inside Out, which is one of my more favorite Pixar movies. It's got like a weird love-hate relationship. Either people love it or they don't care for it. When it came out, I was taking a whole bunch of psychology courses and thought it was great because a lot of the stuff I studied in psychology was actually translated into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to where they're going here. I know unfortunately, not everyone is returning. There were certain characters that they said, well, we don't need you. But they are introducing some other ones, anxiety and stress and stuff like that. So I'm again, I like the first one, so I'm very curious and looking forward to see where they go with that. Then we get a little film, the only Marvel film on the slate, Mufasa. Sorry, Deadpool.
I was like, what?
Wow.
Matthew was just trying to see if we were still awake.
Yeah, actually. Deadpool 3. Gentlemen, I know you want to discuss this one.
Yes. This one is, because obviously it's part of Disney now, but it's a different kind of Disney movie. So it's its own separate entity, but
Disney After Dark.
Right.
Starring Dave Goldman and Isaac.
So I'm curious, just by watching the previous two movies, if we're going to get the same kind of product that we've seen in the previous two movies in this one. Highly looking forward to it. I want to see it. However, I don't know if it's going to be Disney down.
Well, it is kind of funny now because of the struggles of Marvel as of late. You notice how they are trying to go a little edgier,
Okay.
a little more mature. One of those starting off with the new show Echo.
Mm-hmm.
That comes out, and remember, you're talking about
I
a
forgot to
character.
mention about Echo. Yes.
Yeah, great job. You're not doing your job, man. Anyway,
I did see. I put this stuff out here. I didn't see anybody else put any suggestions up there. You guys discuss.
No.
Oh
no,
but let me just say one thing and I'll let you go, Isaac. But just to kind of a quick, simple answer, and Isaac, I know you have quite the answer for it. Iger himself said he wants Deadpool to be Deadpool. And that was one of the things that acquiring Fox he was excited about.
Okay.
He does not, he is fine with it being in our movie, and it's still in Ryan Reynolds' control, and he has complete say of whatever is being done, which is how he got Hugh Jackman, and he's complete control of it, which is why it was one of the last movies to hold production, because he has this weird way of being able to kind of scapegoat things. Yeah. That being said, it should not be, as the stereotype is out there, Disneyfied. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about everything that we saw in the first one or two. So whatever people are going to say, it's going to have this type of character in it, or it's going to be this, or it's going to be that. Those were actually already in the first two movies. And I don't, it's not going to be, I think we're going to get the Deadpool type of character that we were expecting. And I think whatever the final product is would be the final product, whatever the studio was.
Well, see, here's where they have to convince me on this, because with Deadpool, it's not just about the comedy. Ryan Reynolds is brilliant at marketing. Mm-hmm. The last two Deadpools in terms of marketing were brilliant. I don't know if you remember when Deadpool 2 came out, and for advertisement, when Fox had the brand, they took every Fox property and had a Deadpool cover on it. Like every little Fox property that was on my Fox had a Deadpool cover. You're talking about Disney right here. This is a gold mine. If Bob Iger and Kevin Feige are really serious about Ryan Reynolds doing his job, you're going to let this dude mess up every Disney property that you can imagine. I want them to bring back the Diamond box set and have every like Aladdin is going to be Deadpool on it. Oh, The Lion King is Deadpool. The Lion King, it's him holding Mufasa and throw him off the bridge. Oh, Little Mermaid, Deadpool. Beauty and the Beast,
that's awesome.
Deadpool dressed up as Belle dancing with the Beast. All right. The Lion King, the Jungle Book, Deadpool in it. Everything has to be Deadpool up to the yin yang. The marketing has to be point. This is I think Bob Iger is going to make such a grave mistake, because Ryan Reynolds is going to go so ham on the marketing. This marketing needs to be up the yin yang for Deadpool 3. It has to be good. Yeah. So until I see that, I'll know that he has control over it. But no, I am looking forward to see what Deadpool does, and I'm also looking forward to see how it fits in with the overall story arc moving forward. So it's going to be very interesting.
I think they would have there would be such a if it was Disneyfied, like you said, I think there would just be such an uproar over what they what it was to what it would be. Kind of, again, we're gonna keep killing Thor, but turning Thor from the god of thunder to the weak fat dude. They killed his character. Don't kill Deadpool's character. Let Deadpool be Deadpool.
My argument to that is, a lot of times, and a lot of people I don't think fully realize this, that yes, Disney is writing the checks, and they do put their say in at times, but they're also allowing their entities to run themselves. Case in point, Lucasfilm. They're putting these movies out that people haven't been happy with. Iger had a conversation with Kathleen Kennedy, and now we have Dave Filoni in charge of creation, because what has Dave Filoni been doing? He's been doing the stuff on the streaming side. What has the streaming side been doing? Really well. Mm-hmm. Despite what you may say, Dave, it actually has been doing well. I mean, we wouldn't be having walk around characters or even know Mandalorian and Grogu.
Right.
and seeing Baby Yoda / Grogu merchandise everywhere
Mhm.
if it wasn't for him. So what was Iger to do? This guy needs to be involved from day one on what the projects are as they're being formed and developed, instead of bringing this guy in on day 567 whenever the project's about to go to print.
Yeah. But I don't know if we talked about it on the previous episode, but is he in control of everything or just the stuff that he's putting out? Like whatever he's in charge of, he has the last say in that stuff, or is this just the whole entire IP he's running? Wow. Okay. That's a lot on his plate, man.
It is, but he's got the better vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to put it that way. But going back to Ryan Reynolds in the advertising, considering that just to announce that the movie is going into production, he did a whole slew of different promotions that the internet went crazy over. Yeah, I think they're going to go with that route because they already started it. So why wouldn't you continue it?
If it's not broke, don't fix it, and just
Exactly.
let Reynolds do his thing, man. So yeah,
Let
no,
Ryan
go for it.
Reynolds do Ryan Reynolds, and the world will be a happier place for it.
Now this movie is coming out. I believe it was May. I think it was pushed back to May. Is that correct, or was that still the original date?
I think that's the original. Just kind of, it's been bounced around. I think that's the more recent date, and that's kind of where it's going to lie. Unless if it's fluid. Before the writer's strike, I think it was supposed to come out earlier.
Yeah, that I remember. That due to the writer's strike, they ended up pushing. Actually, it's actually July 26th.
That's
July
it.
26th.
And I knew it's a summer film. I forgot.
I thought
exactly
it was going to be
wearing that. But like you even said, Echo. I mean, just that one preview alone of Echo is gritty. It is raw. It is visceral. It is beautiful. It's. I don't know if my boys will be watching it. I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's another interesting development with Marvel, along with the next Blade movie that's going to come out. They all mentioned that they're all going to take rated M, TV M, I think M17 ratings moving forward, which is big on Disney Plus. And I think this also kind of begins the new strategy for Marvel in terms of just releasing one Marvel movie for this year. And if that is correct, I think Deadpool 3 is the only Marvel movie that's going to be released this year. Am I right? Or
yes,
yeah. So that begins the new strategy of only
two
one
or three slated
shows.
for 25.
Yeah.
No, movies as well. There's going to be at least 2 movies coming out in 25.
Okay, which is off the top of my head. And then for shows, and then I think it's the same that goes for television shows, right? I think we'll get like 2 shows instead of like being
this
spread.
Year,
I think Echo be one of those.
Echo and Agatha is supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, fall of 2024 supposedly.
Yeah. Okay. We shall see.
Yes.
And yeah, X-Men, I think even X-Men 97 got pushed back because that was supposed to come back out this year. I think that got pushed back a little bit.
Yeah, 2024 is kind of in flux with all the actor strike, the writer strike, everything. So, everything just got reshuffled. So it's going to be a tricky year for the whole Disney.
Well, it's gonna be a tricky year for everything because right now, like these studios have to go back to the drawing. They have to get all these actors back and figure out their schedules for everything. So yeah, it's gonna be messy all over the board. For everybody.
Negotiations, writing, everything.
Yeah, they were even saying for Star Wars, season 2 of Andor is supposed to come out in 2024. But now there's speculations that that might get pushed to 25.
I think they did. I think they already announced that it's going to get pushed to 25. Yeah.
Right. Same acolytes and all that stuff, and is unfortunately gotten pushed quite a bit back. I forget the name of the one. The one with Jude Law in it. That was actually already a lot.
Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, a lot of that
that's in the
was.
can though. I thought, isn't that like?
That's what I thought. So I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing that sooner. But we shall see. But yeah, I'm not sure about that one because I thought most of that was done.
Yeah, 'cause it was supposed to be Skeleton Crew, Bad Batch. You know, these were the ones that we were supposed to get, but who knows?
Supposed to get.
And Andor. Those were the three, I
Right.
think, in the Star Wars, the big ones. But
And don't forget the Planet of the Apes musical.
I'd go watch it. I don't care.
And heckle it at the same time.
That's right.
Something I was surprised on this list that Disney released of upcoming movies was an Alien project.
Mm.
I was completely unaware that there was an Alien project in the works.
I'm a little shocked by that too. It's been a lot on the Predator side, which has been good because Prey has gotten rave reviews. So it's for them to kind of go back into a little bit of Alien, I think that's actually good.
Yeah, I don't
Nice to
know
see
if this is
a project.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be following what was it, Covenant?
Mm.
If it's going to be something like that, something new altogether. I know nothing about it, but I'm happy to see that. Again, based on if they go in the direction like Prey went and keep it to what it's supposed to be. Keep it, keep the source material to the source material. What, here's the creature, here's, simple, and you're not trying to change it up, not trying to reinvent the wheel. Here it is, here's the scenario, and run with it. It should be good. As long as we don't get another Alien 4.
Yeah.
Oh God.
There has been some really, like, I haven't seen them all, but there have been some really good Alien movies.
Yes.
So I may check this one out, but I don't know. Do you need, like you said, does it follow that one movie? Do we need to see all the other ones in order to know what's going on in this one? Is it going to be a reboot? I don't know.
Well, it's been a while since they did the that last group. So this may be a whole nother new direction. Again, I this is the first time I've heard of it.
Mm.
So we shall see. Obviously, it's something that's been heavily worked on to be able to be proposed to be coming out. Well, I mean, Deadpool I know is only partially shot, so but it's something they've been working on.
Mm-hmm.
Then what else we got? There's a number of other things through Fox that are coming out that I don't know if you guys want to go into them or not. Let me go back to the list here I sent you.
Another Die Hard movie? No.
Revamped Die Hard movie.
Die Hard 5 still falling.
At this time, it's a Christmas film.
Right, exactly.
Once and for all, it's a Christmas film.
It'll have to be his daughter because it's not going to be John McClane. First Omen. Untitled Alien Event Movie. That's how they're putting it on here. I got the Darkhold Diaries. That's what's being called now. That name has changed 100 times. The Amateur. I don't know what that is.
Amateur.
Yeah.
That sounds very artistic.
Let me see if I could just quickly search this up.
All I know, it has Hugh Jackman and Rami Malek in it. Okay, and Lawrence Fishburne. So,
okay. So promising cast.
Yeah, it follows a
Definitely.
CIA cryptographer who managed to blackmail his agency into training him to let him go after a group of terrorists who killed his wife in London. Interesting. No, yeah,
All
there you
right, sign me up.
go. There you go.
Anything to see Lawrence Fishburne singing.
Yes. I don't think he's be singing in this, but he'll he's gonna be
So
in it.
you think.
He's
That's
gonna
the
be in it.
twist.
He's gonna be in it. So okay.
Is there anything in the parks to look forward to in this year?
Yes.
Yes, the parks. We have the Celebration Pavilion at Epcot that's going to be opening up. Tiana's Bayou Adventure will be opening up in the Magic Kingdom and Disneyland, respectively.
They're actually they revamped it. It's gonna be greenlit. Like they did it that fast.
No.
It's in progress. They've been releasing pictures from inside about the
Right.
show scenes
Okay.
that they've already redone. So
Good.
they're full go on this, and they're working vigorously on retheming and restructuring the mountains. I mean, you have to keep in mind a lot of it's already built.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're
they
not
just
building a
have
new
to-
show house. They're not building a new track. They're cleaning up the track and repairing it and making it more sparkly and shiny and new. But a lot of that stuff it's already done. You retheme the outsides a little bit, and I mean, Dave, you were there. You saw the water tower.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's facades being put up, and then on the inside, switching out animatronics, and putting in new show scenes. So it's replacing stuff. It's not a brand new build.
Redoing the whole thing. Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a retool. Anything else other than that? Like I know Epcot, and you said the Bayou Adventure. Was there anything else that's going to be revamped in customer service, anything like that for the parks moving forward?
There's rumors about things that will be happening to Disney Plus, not Disney Plus, to Genie. I'm not going to get into that because I don't know how much credence there is to actually all that, but that is something that is still being looked at. But one of the things that they did talk about was the rework of Country Bears, introducing more modern country music.
I heard about that too. Yeah.
Getting away from Whooping Little Buford and Blood on the Saddle to something a little more acceptable.
And weren't they supposed to shorten the show a little bit or
They're
whatever?
shortening it yet
So
again.
shows. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything else on like the Marvel or Star Wars front in terms of foot parks, or we're pretty much good, same old, same old?
My understanding is that they will be now focusing more into bringing, again, like I was mentioned earlier, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, Boba Fett, Fennec Shan, Chopper, Mandalorian, Grogu, being more focused in as walk-around characters, and they're going to be more readily available. Also, Star Tours is going to be getting a slight revamp that's going to bring those characters in some of their worlds into the fold, into the mix of the 50 plus variations that you can get on the ride. So going on a mission and Ahsoka shows up, or Mando shows up to give you a mission. So those characters are now getting folded into everything else that you see. So yeah, you got a lot of that stuff. In the works. Marvel's going to be the quieter one this year, which get some heat off of them. Let them get their bearings. I think hopefully, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No,
in all fairness, it's a year. This year, it will go by quick. It's not like we're getting nothing. We're just getting less than what we're used to, which sometimes absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think again, simple, less is more. Maybe what's the brand right now, and I think like you said, the brand is definitely going to get retooled right now. Like you said, the only real movie we're going to get moving into 2024 is Deadpool. So I think it's a new strategy that they're going to test out to see maybe that does generate some of buzz, and like you said, maybe it'll be all about more about quality versus quantity at this moment. um I think there is still a budget issue in terms of like a lot of these films, so I think that has to be a game. I think they have to figure out a game plan that they can save money, but I also don't want to hear it comes in the cost of like actors and showrunners and people working behind the scenes. So I think they have to hopefully figure out a decent balance. Again, with the strikes that happen, hopefully they do. So yeah, I think hopefully a better focus of quality moving forward would be the best.
Do you
And I'm
think they
looking for
turn to
that.
like? Do you think they turn to the lower tier of actors and stuff like that, the up and coming guys that don't make as much, to try to, you know, help with the budget, so they're not putting out, paying all these actors the millions of dollars?
Well, I
Well,
know
if you,
they. Yeah,
I
I
was going to say, if you look back to the original castings, that's what they did.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, they might
No,
have to do it again. You know what I mean?
and I don't think it would be honestly a bad idea too. Honestly, if they can, I definitely would be applying. I know they've already stated that they're no longer doing those long multi-year contracts because they got way too ballooned and way too expensive. So yeah, I think again it'd be nice to see some new upcoming guys. Like they found like Simu Liu, to do Shang-Chi or Cho. I forgot the lovely lady that played America Chavez.
Oh, yes,
Finding
yes.
it's good that they're taking a little bit more risk on not risk, but finding out these younger actors, or even Amani Vanali, who is Miss Marvel. I think
Hmm.
that's kind of the route that they are probably going to go to do cost measures and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be really important in terms of what Marvel's future. But again, just better storytelling, just better story. I think that's what's been missing right now in the Marvel universe. Better quality of storytelling, and hopefully on top of that, back to better visuals. Because of the last
Yeah.
couple of years, the special effects has taken such a nosedive in terms of quality. It has not been sharp. So getting back to quality really
Well,
is just
part
the
of
idea of Disney at this
yeah,
point.
part of the unfortunate part with the special effects is that they use the same special effects house for pretty much all the projects. So you have multiple movies going into this place. There's only so much talent that they can have working at it.
Yeah.
Um, and the effects house just recently unionized. So um, that's
Mm.
going to create a little more um, change in the work environment.
Mm.
Which I think we could all agree on in terms of hopefully for better working situations for a lot of people. Hopefully.
Right. We
So
may have to wait a little bit longer for a movie or a project. On the fan end, I think we're more acceptable of that than on the studio end, because when it comes down to it, the studio is a business and it has shareholders, and the
yes.
shareholders want things done a certain way, not necessarily the best way,
Yeah.
um, but they want it done a certain way.
Yeah.
And this is, I'd want to go back to, like, the Walt days, and Walt saying, okay, this is how we're going to do it. Shareholders, they'll get their part in the end, but he was enough to be able to say, this is how it needs to get done, and this is what we're going to do. Did it always pay out? No, this and that and the other thing. But he did sometimes try and push back. He's not around with us anymore, and everyone works for the board. So, not saying it's a bad thing, they have a lot more knowledge and experience in these things than we do, and what goes into them, and what to expect out of them, and why they want the results that they do. It's their money.
Mhm.
But sometimes you need to let things cook fully and properly.
I 100% agree on that.
Yeah. I mean, to that point, like because of the writer strike, now they're behind the eight ball. Now, don't rush the products. Make sure that story, that script, that whatever you're doing is on point. Don't just throw through a script just because you're behind and you want to get a movie out. I'm hoping, I'll take, if it's got to take a year or whatever to delay something, fine. I'm with that as long as it's a compelling story. That's, I think, what we all want.
Well, I really think, and my suggestion would be, take this as an opportunity to see what you have and go for the best product.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Yeah, it's about going back to quality, refocusing back on quality like it did before Marvel blew up the way that it did. Mm-hmm. It's kind of taking a bit of these risks. And again, like I said, this is a new strategy headed for everything, not even just Marvel. I think it's even Star Wars. They're going to also implement it with Star Wars and maybe a little bit of Pixar. I think they really are going to. Yeah, pretty much. So I think that's going to be good for the studios, hopefully, and hopefully we'll see if the quality improves. I think we could all agree that there was just so many letdowns. Yeah. And just in terms of just what has come out in terms of quality. So and like you said, hopefully you if there's new ideas, be able to kind of discover new ideas. I think that's what Disney needs a lot more, is a little bit more risk taking again in terms of the quality. I will admit, as much as I have enjoyed the quote unquote live adaptations of the recent Disney stuff, I think it's a bit of a rehash. I think Disney's a better, more smarter company to come up with some better quality stories like that. So, like you said, with everything that's happened, let's also push up. Unfortunately, there is probably one movie that we might have to talk about because it's on the list. You give me that look. I said that.
Are you referring to Mufasa? Say his name again. Mufasa.
Yes. Mufasa. Well, speaking of.
Here's the interesting thing about Mufasa.
Yeah.
It's a new story.
It is a new story. Yes. You're right. It is a brand new story.
New story.
You're absolutely right. And it is not playing from a cartoon that was done previously. You're absolutely right. Yes.
Is it a prequel? Yes. But it's kind of hard to make a sequel of this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, that's not true. They did make a sequel to The Lion King too. Remember, they did. Yes. They technically could go that route.
By following Mufasa, calling it Mufasa, you can't.
Right, exactly.
No, well, that, yeah. Right. Yeah. No, obviously.
That's going to be a very short and very boring movie.
I think the movie, if they are going to do a live action again, though, I would want to see, was it Lion King 1.5?
Oh, 1.5 was brilliant.
Yeah.
1.5?
1.5.
Give me that.
Brilliant. Mystery Science Theater style Lion King. I love it.
I want to see Moana in live action. Actually have Dwayne The Rock Johnson play Maui or whatever.
They're working on it.
They're
working on.
Yep. Oh, they're definitely working on it though. But no, I am curious. Now, have they? Is it already set? Do they have actors and everybody? Do they know who's playing the young Mufasa by any chance? Because I have not heard anything about the cast.
Because Dad, it's got to be in production because this is going to be such a heavy CGI movie.
And it's coming out. And it is coming out next year for that. Really?
It's coming out the end. It's their Christmas movie.
Okay, well that does make sense. But still, I mean, I get it, actor strike though. But I'm still shocked that they really haven't released that actors. Because I remember when they did The Lion King, the first thing they released was a big. They released the cast, like they made the big announcement of the cast, and Beyonce was on it, and like Donald Glover and Seth Rogen. It was ridiculous. And
Aaron Pierre as Mufasa.
Who? Who?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Interesting. All right.
You know him?
No, we used to go back to high school back in the day. I mean,
he is about your age.
Yeah, I mean, we took PE. That's the last time I remember him. And then he went off to France, and I never saw him again. But now he's playing Mufasa, so good for him.
Oh boy.
Oh man. Oh, Mufasa, the Lion King.
He was in Old.
Oh, he was in Old.
Yes.
Okay.
He also did a voice in Krypton.
Yeah, interesting.
Or who's in Krypton? Old. Anything else that really stands out? The Underground Railroad. The A Word. Nothing else. Old is really the only thing that stands out.
I do remember Old. I do remember Old. So.
Yeah, the M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, but again, not necessarily going for the name, but following the talent. Billy Eichner is still Timon, Seth Rogen as Pumbaa.
Yep.
Kelvin Harrison Jr. as Taka, and John Candy as Rafiki again.
Yep.
So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's the extent and that's according to IMDb. That may or may not be 100% accurate.
True, very true.
But what are you gentlemen looking forward to in the coming year?
I mean, just going by what
weeks of excitement.
Yeah. On the Star Wars end, I want to see Skeleton Crew. Hopefully that's coming up because that's something different, something new. I want to see what that's all about. And then the only thing we got to look forward to is Deadpool. I'm looking forward to that, because that seems to be the only movie really coming out. So why not?
Wow. That you know of, yeah. I guess in terms of where I'm positioned, because I don't know when I'm going to have an opportunity to go see the park. So just in terms of entertainment, I think I'm really just curious to just seeing. I really am just kind of curious to see what Disney does to just kind of reposition themselves back to, again, I know this has been broken record, just going back to making creative stuff that's enthralling for everybody. Again, I think we can agree that 2023 has just not been a great year for Disney in terms of a lot of the IPs that have been shown right now. Mm-hmm. Even certain things that I love about Disney in terms of even the stuff that Disney does well kind of has taken a bit of a step aside. So I'm just kind of really hoping, for the sake of families moving forward that, and, with the issues with inflation, a lot of things that are happening right now, that quality really does matter for Disney moving forward. And then in terms of family and stuff, I know the last episode we were talking about a lot more Muppet properties. So I think that'd be great. Hopefully they announce a little bit more stuff like that. Like I said, Marvel just taking a one episode approach moving forward. I think it's going to be really interesting how they get back to the quality of things and also kind of figure out exactly really moving forward how this Disney Plus kind of figure its way around it. Because again, it's almost out of everything right now, Disney Plus really is the number one thing that's kind of taken over the Disney, not even just the parks, it's just Disney Plus in total in terms of money and revenue. So it will be kind of interesting to see where Disney Plus is moving forward in terms of some of the other acquisitions. I know they bought out. I think they now have their full share of Hulu now, correct? I think they
Yes.
now bought a Hulu. So
Mhm.
Hulu. So yeah, and I'm also kind of interested to see even their non-Disney stuff moving forward. Like you said, I didn't know we are getting an Alien, stuff like that. But there's also been some great stuff that are outside of Disney that hopefully get announced. I know that The Bear was one of, I don't know if anybody has had an opportunity to watch The Bear, which I know it's a Hulu stuff from Fox. Get an opportunity to watch it. Fantastic drama. Very fantastic drama if you're into it. I think won an Emmy, and I think this got so there's a lot of even like really deep, rich, like adult stuff too coming under the Disney brand that I'm looking forward to. So yeah, I think that's going to be a fun balance to see how Disney can bounce back in an interesting year where the economy is So we'll see
Yeah.
what's that.
To your point, like I think they know that there's an issue. It's just how do they get themselves out of the predicament that they're in, and show us that they're making an effort to get out of that predicament, because it's really, you know what I mean? Like we're as fans, as viewers, as people that are paying money to them, we want to see, myself, I want to see like an improvement on the quality of movies, quality of shows and stuff, so that I will continue to pay that money for them. So yes, let's see it. Let's see what they offer us this year. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and it kind of going back to what Matt said earlier in this podcast episode, in terms of the shareholders and stuff, hopefully the shareholders can allow just to kind of step back for a little bit, what Matt said earlier in the show, like let the creators cook and let them do their job and see what happens.
Yes, sir.
Just on a quick side, I looked up the new Alien movie. It does have a name, Alien Romulus. Yep.
Wow.
Young people from a distant world must face the most terrifying life form in the universe. So it's a very young cast, and allegedly it takes place between Alien 1 and 2.
Okay. Interesting. Wait, so this is going back to who's the legendary director that made the first Alien movie? Why can I not think of his name? Begins with an R.
Ridley.
Thank you, Scott Ridley.
Yeah.
So that takes place within the Scott Ridley Alien. Is that really? Is that it?
Takes place kind of in that timeline, but it's separate from that. So it's not following Nostradamus, the spaceship, or Sigourney Weaver's character.
Sigourney Weaver, yeah.
So
really, but you said it's taking place between 1 and 2, correct?
As far as the timing of things. But again, I don't know how accurate that is. That's just a comment that is right in here.
Okay, interesting. That
Kaylee Spini, who is one of the lead actresses for this film, said that's supposedly where it takes place.
That is interesting. That's very interesting. That's going to be taking place in that timeline, and you would think you would want to try to do something a little new or different, or maybe push it. But the fact that they want to go into the Riley Scott, that's very interesting. Nice.
But either way, it's kind of an offshoot on its own thing. So
interesting. Okay.
So should be good. Nice and dark.
Although
it's creepy.
Although there are going with a little bit of when you said younger cast, I thought like teeny bopper slasher when you said that. So it's like
no one that I've ever heard of.
Yeah, that's true. Although I think I've heard of David Johnson. David Johnson, actually, I think I've heard of. I think the only actor that I've heard of was David. Yeah, David Johnson. Yeah, he was Billy. I think he was Billy from Power Rangers, if I'm pretty sure.
No, he doesn't come up under that.
Oh no? No, okay, then I'm totally wrong. I am totally wrong. Never mind that.
He was in Gen Y, Endeavor, Deep State.
Okay. Actually, now I'm looking at a lot of this cast. A lot of the cast. No, none of them are really popping up. Okay.
No.
No. All right. Cool. All right. That's it. Like you said, kind of like what David said. Some new cast members. This is kind of the whole trope. Like you said, try to keep the budget down. We're gonna go with some not really heard of actors right now to kind of sell our properties. So yeah, let's see how this all works.
Yeah, it's worth the gamble. I mean, why not?
Yeah. No, I agree. I totally agree.
Just remember, Harrison Ford was a painter.
You're up to, and a carpenter. Yes, you're right. And
Yeah,
he
the
started
carpenter.
late in his 40s.
Yep. And Samuel L. Jackson was a background actor.
Yes, he was gangster number 6.
Was he wrong?
Yeah, no, I'm not lying. He said like every movie I was gangster number 6.
Oh man,
I always played that guy.
I still want him to reprise his role as Mace Windu. I'm still like, he's got to pop up somewhere, some year. I know it's not going to be this year, but come on.
I'm still falling.
Mace is out there. Come on.
And on that note, gentlemen, thank you so much. I look forward to the year, what it has ahead of us. I'm looking forward to this journey together with the two of you, with Matt, who could not be here this evening. But I look forward to the unknown, because the unknown has got the greatest amount of possibilities. Yes, we know about these titles and these movies, and we don't know what they hold us. And that is part of the unknown. There's so much limitless potential out there for this year, for Disney, for ourselves, for everyone who's listening. And, whatever your resolution is, if you make resolutions, just go forth with the expectation that it is an adventure and you are not always in control, but your perspective makes you understand and see and control what you feel and what you think. So make it the best year possible. I wish everyone much fortune and great health and good things to come to those who wait. So thank you. And that should be. We'll see you on the other side of we're already on the other side of the calendar. So
yes. Yes. Thank you for having us again. And
thank you.
On to the next episode. Yes, sir.
Again, join the conversation. Find us on the social networks. What are you looking forward to from 2024? Find us on everywhere, just about, at WD Magiccast on Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We are out there. Leave us a voice message through the Spotify podcast website and be heard on the show. Links to all these are in the show notes. I want to thank you for your time. I know how little time we all have, and it's a new year. Doesn't mean that it's any less busy. The fact that you spent some of that time with us, with us here over at WD Magiccast, really means a lot to us, to our family, that your family is part of our family. And we cannot thank you enough. Please, though, take just an extra moment, leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, because they will do their job and help promote us. We have all 5-star reviews. Keep them coming. We do need more. I mean, not trying to be greedy, but it helps us out greatly. It also lets us know that you like what we're doing, and we'll keep going at it. Also, make sure you share out a link to the show on your social networks. Let people know about it. The more people in this Disney family, the better. Walt believes in a big Disney family, and so do we. Don't forget to subscribe to the show while you're at it. This way you always know when a new episode's out. While you're at it, though, consider becoming a premium subscriber. Really help the show out. Help us with those reviews and keep things going. You can do this over at Spotify Podcast /WD Magiccast /support, or check out our merchandise shop on TeePublic, where you get some really awesome material or things, coffee mugs, posters, throw pillows, you name it, we're out there. Tote bags. New Jersey, we don't have shopping bags, so you need a tote bag. Remember, because this show is brought to you by listeners like you, and links to all these are in the show notes. Whatever you're facing out there, whatever troubles and dark times you may be having, don't give up. Don't ever give up on yourself. You are worth it. You are someone special. There's only one you out there, and there's a good reason for that, because the world needs you. You are special, you are wonderful, you are beautiful, and you are needed. And if you need help, it's out there. You may not know the person, you may not be familiar with them yet, but take that first step. Ask for help, and it will be available for you. Never give up, never give in. Be your own hero. Let your light shine for everyone to see. Now I'd like to end this week's show with a quote from Walt Disney himself. Why be a governor or a senator when you could be king of Disneyland? And on that note, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.